Welcome to the Crewcast, the Crew's live podcast about video games and all things crew. Join us and many of your favorite crew members as we review games, talk about the new Crew series, answer your questions, and much more. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this episode of the Crewcast.
Welcome to episode 33 of the Crewcast for the 29th of the 3rd, 14. And today we have Piper, Sarah, Boss, and myself. And let's go straight into the news.
Alright, so big news in the gaming world. Oculus Rift has been bought by Facebook for $2 billion.
Wow.
Now, for those that don't know, Oculus Rift is a virtual reality like headset that's kind of like next generation and almost ready. It's going to basically be, think of it as a computer in a virtual reality headset that you wear on your head, and you could play games with it and everything. They did a Kickstarter, for crowdsourcing of funding, got a ton of money. I think they got was it 2 million or something like that, 1.5 million or whatever. Tons of initial capital, and that's nothing to get a company started. But backed by a lot of excited gamers, even Notch, I think, donated 10,000 to it.
Yeah.
Now they've been bought by Facebook. What do you guys think?
Ouch.
Yeah, I don't know where it's going to go. Maybe they're just buying it just to have it, and they're still going to let the guys do what they've been doing.
But I just see what Facebook want with it. Like, Facebook's social media, whereas virtual reality is gaming. I don't see how there's a connection. Maybe
they just want it to have it as their in their library of things that they own. Like, they bought WhatsApp for a ridiculous amount of money as well.
Yeah, but that makes sense though, because WhatsApp again is social because you talk to your friends with it. Whereas virtual reality gaming, what are you going to be able to do? Be in a game and then go, oh wait, look, I just got a Facebook WhatsApp message. I just don't know why they did it.
Well, for me, almost, if I could cry, I would have cried on this, because this is horrible. I've loved the fact that John Carmack left id to, not that he left id, but that he went to be the chief technical officer for Oculus Rift. I can't imagine he's excited about this. Facebook is one of the worst companies. It's one of the worst, this is all my opinion, one of the worst companies and worst things in the world. They do not care about our privacy. They do not care about us. All we are to Facebook is a number for their social media and for them to make money off of. I think it definitely isn't if you look at Zuckerberg's initial comments. This is just not something that they're buying just to say it's in our portfolio. This is something they see as the future for social media. So they don't say it won't be used in gaming still, but they want to, my guess is, be able to say, Piper, log into Facebook and take a virtual tour and see what I see, or go shopping virtually, or go to virtual movies with your friends. They want to make this VR a social experience, which I think is hilarious because generally gamers get the tag of being the most non-social people out there, and that's who's developing this. But I think Facebook is going to destroy this thing. I'm excited that Sony is working on a competitor to it, and I think other companies will. The internet is enraged by this. I think this is just the most horrible news I've heard in years.
And the fact that if that is the social aspect of it, so people can go to virtual movies with each other, people aren't going to leave the house. It's going to be Wall-E. It's literally going to be people staying indoors and connecting via this virtual reality thing. People aren't going to live anymore.
I mean, Facebook, again, my opinion, Facebook is the worst company in the world on the internet. Now, I'm not talking about there's a lot of companies that do a lot of evil, oil companies, all that stuff. But just like social media, they're the worst. They are the worst. They don't care about our privacy. They don't care about anything except the bottom line. Twitter, on the other hand, is a great company who definitely cares about our privacy and does a lot of things to help it. But this makes no sense to me. I think Facebook is going to destroy this. I think you're going to see people jumping ship. We'll see if Carmack stays in. I can't imagine him wanting to be any part of something that's related to Facebook. And along with that, Notch tweeted and made a huge blog post about this. And he has dropped the development of Minecraft for the Oculus Rift as soon as he heard this because he doesn't like Facebook. He said, Facebook is not a company of grassroots tech enthusiasts. Facebook is not a game tech company. Facebook has a history of caring about building user numbers and nothing but building user numbers. People have made games for Facebook platforms before, and while it worked great for a while, they were stuck in a very unfortunate position when Facebook eventually changed the platform to better fit the social experience they were trying to build. So, he doesn't want to work with social, he wants to work with games. And I think the most telling part is he said, and I did not chip in 10 grand to seed a first investment round to build value for a Facebook acquisition.
Yeah, I feel bad for all those Kickstarted people that kickstarted the project. That is bad.
So yeah, this was a shocking news. It happened yesterday, and I forget if we were done getting ready to stream or what we were doing, but I was looking at my phone and I saw some tweets, and I'm like, Facebook buys Oculus Rift for $2 billion. Is today April 1st? And I'm like, no, we're not there yet. It's like, oh, this is the worst ever. So boo, Facebook, boo.
Boo.
We need a new champion to take over. Sony is obviously working on something. Negative is it'll probably be Sony only. So we'll see. I bet you within a few months there's going to be another Kickstarter from some other group trying to do the similar thing or work on similar thing. Hopefully people who don't want to just sell out. I mean, in one sense, the people behind Oculus Rift have probably just become millionaires easily because of this.
Yeah.
So, some people will say, can you blame them? But I guess I can say yes and no. I mean, I don't blame them for wanting to be rich. I mean, it sounds exciting, but I blame them because they were supposed to be gamers. And this still may be a great product for gamers. I don't want anything to do with it, though, because if it's associated with Facebook.
Yeah.
So let's move on now. Speaking of Notch and Minecraft, Minecraft has reached 100 million users.
Wow.
That is insane.
That's awesome. Yay. Did you ever think it was going to be like this when you first started playing Minecraft? That would be so big.
I don't think I thought any game could ever be this big. I mean, this widespread, this popular, especially Minecraft. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but when you first look at Minecraft, when you first see it, you're like, it's blocky, it looks retro-y. Eventually you find that there's more to it and everything. But my initial thoughts of Minecraft, yeah, it looks like fun, but I never thought I'd be playing it for as many years as I have. And I can't imagine that there's 100 million people. It's staggering. So I don't know if they broke the numbers down. 14 million copies on PC and Mac, 10 million on 360, and 1 million on PS3. That was back in February, March timeframe. So this is 100 million
good.
registered users on the original Minecraft, with 14.3 becoming paid. So it is something that you look at. It's like, it's not really 100 million people. 14.3% of those 100 million actually have paid. But still, it's a staggering number when you throw all of this stuff together and look at all the platforms. And they just keep working on Xbox One ports, PS4 ports, obviously the Oculus Rift port, is gone. But I guarantee you there'll be more devices that are going to come up, and Minecraft is going to be ported to it. Don't Raspberry Pi has a free version of Minecraft. Don't be surprised eventually if some of these watches that you're seeing people get now, these smart watches, are going to have Minecraft on them at some point. I mean, it's just amazing. But
Yeah.
kudos to Notch, kudos to Mojang. They're continuing to work on it. I mean, it doesn't ever seem to slow down. It has to at some point. When, who knows? I have no idea.
Hopefully not for a while.
All right. The next big story. And this happened a few weeks ago. Now we haven't. We'll address the podcast how often we've been doing these in a little bit, but this happened. This announcement on February 24th. So basically a month ago, roughly. But DayZ creator Dean Rocket Hall is going to leave Bohemia this year, 2014. He was going to start his own studio in New Zealand, and he's already working on some new ideas inspired by DayZ. So what do you guys think? I mean, he creates the DayZ mod kind of while working, I think, as a consultant or working part-time for Bohemia, but he created it on his own. It became the popularity that it has. Bohemia had hired him on full time. Bohemia bought the rights to DayZ from him, put him in charge of it, gave him a team of people. He's going to be leaving Bohemia at a certain point here, and no longer working on DayZ. So he has said that he's going to get it to a standalone, like official, non-alpha, non-beta release, and then he's going to go. And if it takes longer, he'll stay. But at that point, he's going to go do the kind of stuff he wants to do with the environment, that now he's got the money, he can create his own thing. Kind of like Mojang.
Well, good for him. I mean, as long as he does stick to Daisy and does give us a brilliant game, which, I mean, it is, but with a few bugs and stuff at the moment, but that is still alpha, so that's what you expect. But yeah, I think it's good for him that he's in that position that he's, created this mod and is able to get loads of money from it and do what he wants now and stuff. And it'll be interesting to see what he comes up with in the future.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what he'll do after DayZ. It'll be interesting to see what he comes out with.
Well, he seems to like the survival game aspect, and I do think there's a lot to this. I mean, a lot of people are repeating the zombies, the infected, and all that. But I think there's a lot of games that are taking this. And we're going to talk about this subject a little further in the main segment. So I don't want to go too far into it. But I think, it's sad for me because I have a real passion for DayZ. And I'm losing that passion more and more and more because standalone just, to me, has just been a mess. I don't think of it as strongly as Piper does. I think it's horrible right now. But we can get into all of that in a little bit in the main segment. But it's sad to see him go. It seems like this may be something he's been planning for a while. Who knows if this is a byproduct of not being able to make the decision he wants to. Some people have been rumored that saying that he wanted to use a different engine than Bohemia's engine for the standalone, wanted to make some decisions, and he's kind of been pigeonholed into doing what Bohemia wants because they own the rights to it. They pay his salary and all that. So some have said that that's why he's going. But time will tell when he leaves and what the state of DayZ is at that point. Okay, so let's move on to crew news. Now, I think the first thing we should mention that I don't even have here on our script is where have we been? Well, we haven't been doing the podcast as much. One of the reasons is, we don't know how many people really enjoy the podcast. I mean, it is a small segment of our fan base. We have some people who are very adamant that they hate it and it's boring. They don't like to listen to people talking about stuff. They just want gameplay. So, I mean, it is more of a niche market for our viewers. But also, we've been very busy and we've been doing a lot of stuff. So, we might try to do them monthly. But we need to really know from people if they really want to see these things, if they do want them weekly, if they want them every other week, or if they don't want them at all. So, I mean, this is a great time in the comments to let us know.
Yeah.
So the big thing's been going on. One is our live stream push, which has been going on now for about 2 months or so. I mean, we've literally been streaming almost every night. Still putting up content on YouTube, but streaming almost every night. Be it Daisy Overwatch, Breaking Point, Arma 3 Altus Life. Um, we've done TF2. We've done CAG, Killing Floor. We did a little return to space with Artemis, where Captain Piper got a chance
Yes.
to take flight. So
That was awesome.
we've been streaming a lot and we're pushing hard. We're trying to grow our streaming side. We're not going to give up on YouTube. I mean, YouTube is always going to be our focus. Minecraft is our main focus on YouTube, at least for the main channel. Our other channel, if we ever put more time into it, it'll have other more edgier games. But we're definitely pushing to do a lot. And we're going to stream things like 24-hour streams for charity once a year and all that. And you'll see some Minecraft stuff on the streams. A lot of people want us to stream Minecraft, stream Minecraft, stream Minecraft. We like to play other stuff because we play so much Minecraft. But we will stream some. But I mean, how has the push been for you guys?
I've really enjoyed it. I like Twitch and the connection you get instantly from people, and what they think of the gaming, and you can talk to people as well. It's good. I've been really enjoying it. Although I've not been doing it as much as you two.
The same here, Piper. But I've found it really fun while I've been doing it.
I mean,
It's
we've
been
met.
tiring.
Yeah, Danny, we had to put him on a
Yeah.
like a 12-step program to say, Danny, at this time of night you must go to bed, because we've streamed literally. I think Danny and I have some nights we've combined, taking turns, but I mean we've had 8-10 hour streams where it's been 10 hours at a time. I think last night Mario did like 5.5 hours of Daisy. So I mean we've done. I think rarely when we do a major stream, I mean, probably 4 or 5 nights out of the week, it's at least 5 hours, 6 hours of streaming. But
Yeah, it's really good.
we've met a lot of new people that are more maybe fans of some of these other games that we've been playing, who have come and played with us, have come and talked with us. It's just been kind of cool. The interaction is much more direct. So I mean, people come and watch. We can talk to you, chat. Text chat. Sometimes when you come into the game, obviously, then we talk and mumble. So we've had a lot of that. We've played a lot of great games. So it's been really fun, and we're going to keep doing it. I mean, we like the push, and it's been really good. There's been some things that we've done that are a little bit different, which we'll touch on one of the deals of the week, which is something that we've set up on our Twitch channel. But also, there's been some people who have made donations that have, in this case, the first thing was to help Giz get a PC. His current computer is a piece of junk, basically. It's barely a functional potato. And he can't play half the games that we play, or when he does, they crash every 30 minutes. So a lot of people stepped up and made donations, and as of today, Giz should hopefully have everything he needs to do to order a new PC. So in a couple weeks, he should be computing with something more mainstream. Not a top-of-the-line system, but definitely a very capable system that's probably 6 to 8 times better than what he has.
Yeah.
So we've really been enjoying the live stream push and live streaming, and we've been pretty regular about doing it. And we're going to keep going unless something in the future changes. So Piper, you want to chat briefly? I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast before, but the change we made and why on the build videos.
Yeah, I do think we talked about it before. The build video is still going to go up on a Sunday, but we're now a week behind. So when the server goes down on the Friday, instead of that build coming up, the video coming up on the Sunday, it'll be a week on Sunday. It just allows me to record it and edit it, because sometimes I'm not always free on the Friday when we record it, so it gives us a bit of leeway so we can do it early on the following week, and gives me time to actually edit it as well, because it is, we spend so much time like running around the build, sorting out who's going to be, what builds are going to be shown, and then actually talking about the builds. We can get carried away sometimes because we love the builds like we get quite passionate about them, and yeah, it just takes a lot of time to edit it. So yeah, I hope you guys are okay with that.
I think most people have accepted it. I mean, they'd love to see things
Yeah.
immediate. A couple things though about the build server that I want to mention. Uh, some people seem to come in like right at the last minute, those last hours, and I see people scrambling to try to get finished, begging for help. They're in that last, 30 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes. It's in your best interest to try to get your builds finished before Friday, or at least as close as possible. And the reason I say that is just the crew will fly around and look and everything maybe on Thursday or Friday to start trying to decide what are popular ideas or things that they like. If you don't even start until the last few minutes, obviously, if you've only got a half hour or an hour, you're not going to be able to build something amazing. But it hurts your chances because if it's not done enough, the crew may not notice it. So you want to try to finish before Friday as best as possible, and maybe that just be your little polish day.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Like I'm usually on just before the server goes down, looking at all the builds and stuff, and then when it goes down, we also have a look again afterwards. And there's so many people rushing. I feel so sorry for them. I'm like, you're not gonna get it done. You're not gonna get it done. And for the book one, I was actually a victim of that. It's the first time I've ever left it to the last minute. So I completely agree with what Buzz just said.
So some other stuff. We've started a new series, which is the Hexit series, and we've continued and resumed our Better Than Wolves series. So obviously Hexit, a lot of fun, new mobs, new creatures, structures, uh, biomes, and everything. I mean, more of an adventure, a Dungeons and Dragons style to it. We've really started just getting started, but we're really enjoying it. And obviously, Better Than Wolves is a beastly game. I mean, it's hardcore. I mean, to survive in that game is tough. And I know we just
Yeah.
had a recent comment on one of our videos this week to use coordinates to help find each other. There are no coordinates. They're removed. That's why it's hard.
If there were coordinates, it would be so easy.
When you die, it doesn't put you in the exact spot. It's somewhat random spawns, and they change. It seems like over time. So it is hardcore with all the health and getting sick, and you can't jump, you can't move, you can't fight, and then you're in that. Sometimes when you're in that spot where you want to die, but there's nothing there. It's like you can't move enough to get somewhere to die. So we're enjoying both of those series, and we hope you guys are too. And we're going to continue those. We promise to get a lot of episodes to those series before we maybe move or shift. I know some people have said you started Text It, you kind of dropped it. You started Feed the Beast, you dropped it. Um, Tech It was fun, so we may get back to that. Hex It, I think, is at least a better balance initially. It's got some Tech It type things in it, but it's more geared towards the adventure side. Feed the Beast was really more a technical issue. Maybe it was because we added Mo creatures to it, but a lot of the crew couldn't even get the thing to run very stable. And they have decent computers. I remember even on Hexit, Piper couldn't record Hexit footage.
Yeah.
She said it was like 3 frames per second, and I think Danny even tried, and he had trouble. I'm not
Yep.
sure
I ended
exactly
up
what.
just deleting it. It just wouldn't work.
I don't know what Danny's issue was, but it hit your frame rate too.
My frame rate kind of tanked when I hit my record button.
And Danny
Yeah.
has a newer computer than what I use, so I didn't have any problems. But it's just these things, all these mods. I mean, they really tax a computer, and but we like Hexit. We like Better Than Wolves. We're going to continue with those. We also have been doing, at least we're going to try to do a map a week. Could be a parkour map, could be an adventure map, could be a story map, could puzzle, whatever. We're going to try at least do one a week. We may bump that to two, depending on what we do. And then of course we're doing some other stuff too. Like we just started playing Altus Life, the role playing thing. I'm going to try to put more highlights of that. It's hard to think of that as a full series because servers restart. Sometimes there's no people on. Sometimes there's too many people on. People don't role play it for legit, like the cops are just, jerks. So we'll probably do more clips of it initially. But I mean, your guys' thoughts, Hexit, Better Than Wolves, Maps, Altus, anything else that we've not thought of.
I think you've covered it all.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else. Sisters, of course, is still
Well, no,
Wednesdays.
I'm thinking more of like your thoughts on some of these series, or your thoughts on playing them, not like, or anything else that may be new that we're doing or whatever.
I'm loving Better Than Wolves. I like the challenge of it, and it feels like it's Minecraft, but there's all these extra bits added on, and it kind of makes sense. Like, to get wood, you've got to saw the wood. It's logical. I don't like the death and the respawn. That was hard. Hexit's good, and I enjoy the maps as well. And Alta's Life is definitely interesting. I like that.
We've had some cool moments in all his life.
Insert Danny talking about his sniper shot.
How many meters was it, Danny?
No, that was Overwatch. That was in all his life.
He did have an Altus Life shot on a chopper.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Nice.
we're doing a lot of cool stuff. At least we think so. Let us know what you think. But we're continuing to do Minecraft. I mean, people have wanted Let's Plays. People have wanted us to get back to maps. We're doing that. So we hope that you guys check out these series. If you haven't, check them out. Do the like, favorite, subscribe, all that stuff. Come watch us on Twitch. Come talk to us. Come play with us in some cases when we stream. We'd really, really encourage it. And if some of you, it might be kind of late when you're in the European side of things. When we stream Australia, I know you're probably completely screwed no matter what we do. But, if you haven't checked out the live streams, check them out. All right. So let's move on to the main segment. Now, this is going to be more of a talk, in a sense, about DayZ and the survival game genre. But my question to you guys, is DayZ going to still be the zombie game, or has it started its decline? And if it's so, or if there's just other ones out there waiting that are going to take the lead. I mean, obviously, it's 7 Days to Die, Rust, The Nether, I think was what the one's called. There's a lot of this survival game stuff. But has DayZ kind of lost its luster at this point?
I don't think it has. Like, it's still an alpha at the moment, so it's still got a lot of development to go to it. Because I know Giz has lost faith in DayZ at the moment, and I still think it's got a lot of potential to be the survival game.
I don't know if it's going to be the survival game. I kind of hope it does, because it was one of the first, if not the first. But there's so many good things out there at the moment. And I haven't played it yet, but there's Rust, which everybody on my Steam list seems to be playing at the moment. 7 Days to Die is kind of a bit, it's not really, I don't think it's gained as much as what Rust did. I know, what are the other ones out there now?
Well, Nether.
There's loads.
Nether
Yeah.
seems to be a lot like War Z, which is Infestation Survivor Stories or something like that. I always forget what they've renamed it to. But I think some have said it's better. I mean, there's a lot of people attempting this. I think Rust and 7 Days to Die, for me at least, suffer because I don't think the Unity engine is a very good engine for this. I mean, it's a nice all-around engine that can be used for a whole bunch of different types of stuff. But maybe it's just the models that have been created are just horrible. But the movement doesn't look that good for either of them. I like the idea of all the base building and stuff that Rust has. 7 Days to Die has base building kinda, but it's a little bit different. They're trying to do a lot of similar things and trying to be a little bit different. Not a big fan of the Naked Man mod or option in Rust.
No.
Piper, you may have different thoughts on that one than I.
No,
But
I'm with you on that one.
it's like, I don't even know why they put that option in. I mean, you literally can click an option and then the dudes are completely naked. And
Some of the videos that come out of that, no, not good.
But I mean, I'm very disappointed in DayZ. I have not had any fun, really, short of all of us vomiting the one episode. Standalone to me has just been a mess. I don't like the hunger, thirst, energy thing. I think it's a complete mess. I think Rocket wants to make the thing too realistic. It's just confusing. I don't want that kind of complexity. I mean, I don't mind the game being hard, but I just think the thirst, energy, hunger thing is a mess. The blood. What blood type are you? That's like, I don't want to have to deal with blood types. I mean, it's some of that stuff just is too much for me. I don't like the fact that zombies aren't respawning correctly. I mean, there's been some talk that now they're going to respawn like right after you kill them and come right back after you. I don't like that.
What?
He's talked about the towns should be clearable. I don't know if it's just something they're working on, but people are saying like they're killing zombies. And one of the guys, I think Hicks, that's one of the developers or publisher guys working for Bohemia, had said something about you kill a zombie and it'll come back after you, or it'll have some memory of where it was killed, and it's like that doesn't make any sense. And then I think people tried to clarify it. It's just some of that stuff seems weird. I don't like the fact that you can't loot isn't respawning yet. They've been adding all these other things, but to me, loot needs to respawn. I mean, because basically what happens is you log on to a server after restart. That's your only real chance to get loot, unless you go off into the obscure locations or the less traveled locations, which are boring. And if you don't have enough food or water, you're probably going to starve getting to them or coming back from them. I just, it isn't any fun. And I'm worried. I mean, I know it's alpha, so I keep hoping and hoping that every patch will bring it closer. I just expected, I guess, more from the alpha than very basics. No vehicles. I mean, just give me a bicycle. I mean, I'm all for running around, but man, Chernarus is big. And it's not Altus big, but it's big. And to not have a bike makes it huge to get around. I don't care if they don't want to add choppers yet. I don't think planes should even be added. I don't think choppers with guns and anything like that. I think it's all way overkill. But I don't know. I mean, I'm losing faith in that DayZ's going to be the game. I think somebody else is going to come out and do it right.
I think what's hurt DayZ as well is the fact that they've said, it's going to be coming out this time and then it gets pushed back. It's going to come out this time, then it gets pushed back again. And it's kind of raised people's expectation of it when it actually does come out, or when it actually did come out, and then it's kind of flopped.
I mean, I don't see anyone out there right now that's stepping up to be the replacement, but I know there's people doing it.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. It's funny how you say it should be more real. How they're saying it should be more realistic, and yet you run and run and run for like ages, and then you're like straight away not run for ages, but I'm saying this all wrong. But the constant like food wanting to, you have to have food. You got to have water. I don't eat that much. I love eating, but I do not eat that much. It's too much at the moment. But the potential is there. I mean, it's good. Like the mod was good, and the inventory system they've changed, which is good. But yeah, there should be more. And I completely get what you mean about the bicycle as well. Like just having to run everywhere is just so time consuming, and you know, yeah. Okay, I've had my moan.
But anyway, right now DayZ is still the number one thing out there. I think most people play it. Rocket, I'm still trying to believe. Make it true. I just fix the hunger, thirst. That's just so annoying. I mean, I play in real life. I can eat and then say, I am full, and then I'm happy. This game, I have no idea how much I should be eating, how much I should be drinking. I can make myself sick because there's no easy way to know, and I have no idea when I'm actually regenerating health. All these stupid, this is green, this is orange. It's like, just dump that stuff, man. Make it simple. Make it so it's just,
Yeah.
I mean, nobody cares about that level of food. I mean, there's going to be some purists that are going to be like, oh, I love that, and I want it to be totally realistic, and I want to have to know the blood type, and I want to know if a person has got a fever, and if it's a fever for the flavor of Pringles or whatever, I want to be able to tell. But I think 99% of the gamers don't care about that. We just want a game that is like DayZ Mod, but not buggy, and have a decent inventory system, and not like I hate walking in towards a wall and somebody bumps me and I get knocked out by a wall.
Yeah.
A door hits me and I'm dead. It's just fix, and that stuff still happens. I can glitch through walls all the time in DayZ, and it drives me batty. I'm not even trying. Just I start trying to avoid something, boom, I went right through a wall. So anyway, DayZ, please fix yourself.
Please.
All right, last segment. Your questions. Now, we definitely are going to need some more questions. We have a few left, but we're kind of gone through most of the questions that either aren't repeats or good questions. So, in the video here, there's in the description, if you're watching the podcast, in the podcast description, like if you're using it through iTunes or whatever, link to submit your questions. You can submit it as an audio question or a video question if you like, but do that in any form. Type the question, make it an audio, make it video. If it's audio video, we'll put it here in the channel. Today's questions are both typed, so no lovely voices or pictures. So the first question comes from Molly, and she asks, which headsets do you use? So Sarah, what headset are you using?
Mine's a new one, and I kind of forgot what it is. I just know it's a Philips gaming one.
Okay, Piper?
The Microsoft LifeChat 3000.
Okay, Danny?
Logitech G35.
That is a ditto for me. Danny ended up buying, wanting to know what one I had, and I don't know if he liked it or what, but he decided to order that one, and I think you're pretty happy with it.
Yeah, I'm happy with it.
It's the noises he likes.
Well, the G35 sounds so much nicer than any of the other. I mean, there's other expensive ones that are awesome, and you can go out and buy Astro headsets that are $200-300, and they're awesome. And there's tons of really good, high quality, expensive. The G35 is kind of a mid-range price. I think it's around $99, maybe even around £100 now.
Yeah, it's gone up a little bit now.
So it's not cheap. It's built like a tank. They'll replace it if there's problems. And I mean, the live chat is a very good, inexpensive one, but it's not built very solid. I think Giz has a live chat also. I think a lot of the crew had live chats. We started off with live chats there. It's just Lizzie's gone through them. Lizzie likes them because they're smaller. The G35 here is kind of a bigger headset. She doesn't like it because I have two of them, and I was going to let her have one, but she's just like, it's too big. So the live chats break very easily. She's on her, I think, third one now.
Oh.
I think Giz broke his, or his is breaking. I think we've had a lot of crew break them over the years. So they're not as sturdy. A lot of people, I think, like Piper, when I told her about the G35, she heard the price and she's like, nope, never.
No, I'm having mine. I've not broken mine, so.
But see, to me, that's also crazy because if she had a G35, it would be so comfortable on her and it would even sound better. But if you spend your time playing games online, recording, everything else, sometimes the extra cost is worth it. I mean, Danny, how would you compare you had a live chat, didn't you, before?
Yep.
And how would you compare the two when it comes from use and everything else?
The G35 is so much nicer. It because of the cup size of the ears, it makes the live chat it was smaller with the G35. It's a lot bigger, so it feels a lot nicer on your head. It doesn't hurt as much.
Comes with different pads that you can put up on the top part to whichever one feels the most comfortable for you. Because your ears pretty much go inside the cups, like Danny's saying, the live chat kind of rests against your ear, and after a while that can make your ears get kind of sore. But the only thing also, the microphone's so much better. It's got that, but the sounds are so much better. I mean, when you're playing an atmospheric type game, it just sounds so much better. The 3D aspects, the simulated 3D on it is awesome. It just is, the sound is tremendous. When you start using the G35, if you compare some of your games between the two, it's just amazing. But I mean, a lot of it is based off your budget. What do you like? What are you going to use it for? How long are you going to wear it? but most importantly, your budget. But the live chat is great. 235s are great. If you want to go high end, Astros are awesome. I recommend people who don't have a really good sound card go with the USB headset because generally they have less noise. Analog ones can have a lot of echo and noise if your sound card is like a cheap one or one built into your motherboard. So a lot of options out there, but if anyone wants more detail, I mean, you can always post it in the video question or come on our forum or submit another question with more detail. Okay, so our last question comes from Crazy Girl Espion, and she asks, do you think that a good story can save a bad game?
Ooh. I'm trying to think of an example.
I can answer that really easily. No.
Yeah, if there's really bad gameplay, it can kill a game like almost immediately.
I mean, go through like some of the best games ever. Some don't have a very good story, or the stories are just enough filler to make you want to play the game, and make the game, have maybe a small like logic to it, but it's kind of like the movie Expendables. The plot's not that much, but the action is. So for a game, if a game is a good game, a simple plot is all you need, even if it doesn't make a lot of sense. Usually, it's the typical you're Mr. BJ Bad Butt, and you kill stuff, and everybody is happy. That's what most shooters are, and that's good if the game is good. I don't think I've ever seen a horrible game that people say, yeah, but this game has just got such a great story.
Oh, I don't know. There's one, I wouldn't say the game's bad though, like the gameplay, but it's not like the best. But there's an indie one called Gone Home, and the storyline is just amazing. But then the gameplay it's not overly brilliant. But I wouldn't say it's terrible. I wouldn't go around and say it's terrible. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think I've ever heard any review or anyone ever just say, this game is horrible, but the story is so great you still have to play it. Yeah. If there can be games that are great games that have amazing stories, and those can be some of those ones that just shoot right up to the top, and like System Shock 2, amazing depth and everything else, classic. If it happens, it's great, but I think that's what people strive for as developers, that they can have a good story in a bad game. But let's be honest, a lot of games don't have stories. They don't need them. I mean, look at Minecraft. There's no real story to it. And it's 100 million people.
Yeah.
So, a lot of games don't have stories. It's some of it is up to you. So it really depends on the game. I mean, you play RPGs, they generally try to have a story. You play an adventure game, they generally try to have a story. You play Call of Duty, it kind of has a story, but it's not that exciting. I mean, because honestly, you really just care about getting from point A to point Z and saying you're done, you saved the world. They try to have some stories on that, but I mean, it's like the Expendables. It's as much of a story as they need. No offense, Sylvester Stallone. But yeah, I'd be curious though if people have any thoughts, like if they can think of a game that was a horrible, horrible game, but had a great story, and it made up for it. I mean, it actually did save it. But I think that should do it for episode 33 of the Crewcast. So if you guys want to say goodbye.
Yep.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for watching the Crewcast. We hope you tune in again next time. Compass.